Hello, everyone. As you're coming in, please let us know where you're tuning in from. It's like, well, I am in East Hartford, not in Hartford. This is a virtual background behind me. I'm not at the Mark Twain House this evening. That's closed up nice and tight for the for the evening. Uh, and Kenice, I know you're in Brooklyn, right?
Yes.
And Samantha, where are you again?
Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Kalamazoo, Michigan. Where is everyone else? I don't see anything in the chat. I know sometimes we have people from Connecticut, Richmond, Virginia, Portland, Oregon, Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Wow, that's a West Coast.
Awesome.
West Middle.
I love seeing all the people from all over the country. Oh, there's Mallory, New Britain. Mallory's our assistant curator at the Mark Twain House.
Hi, Mallory.
And I spoke ill of New Britain recently. I hope she forgave me.
Australia.
What did you say? What did you say about this place I'm just learning about?
I just made a face, even though I'm from Hartford, and there's not that big of a difference between New Britain and Hartford, except that Hartford is bigger.
Grand Rapids. There's more Kalamazoo.
Awesome.
I love this.
We're still waiting for a few more people, but the numbers have slowed. So I'm just going to go ahead and start up. Hi, everyone. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm Omar Acevedo, and I'm the Literary Program Coordinator at the Mark Twain House and Museum. And thank you for joining us for this virtual program for Quietly Hostile. First, I want to thank our sponsors. Our virtual programs are produced in part with support honoring the late Frank Lord. We are happy to honor his memory with these programs, and we are also incredibly grateful to the Wish You Well Foundation and Connecticut Public WNPR for supporting all of our virtual programs. Please consider supporting our museum by becoming a member. All members receive free admission to our author programs, the House and Museum, year-round discounts in the store and cafe, and more. I'll put a link in the chat right now for that. And yeah, you don't even have to be living in Connecticut. You could take advantage of a lot of these really cool, benefits of being a member, like tuning into author programs for free. Now, on to our guests. Our author, Samantha Irby, is an American comedian, essayist, blogger, and television writer. She is the creator and author of a blog where she writes humorous observations about her own life and modern society more broadly. Her books, We Are Never Meeting in Real Life, and Wow, No Thank You, were both New York Times bestsellers. She is a recipient of the 2021 Lambda Literary Award for Bisexual Nonfiction. Our moderator, Kenice Mobley, performs stand-up comedy around the world and recently made her late-night debut on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. In 2021, she was listed as one of Vulture's Comedians You Should and Will Know. In 2022, she performed at the Netflix Is a Joke Festival as part of the taped showing Introducing. And she is currently a digital creator at Comedy Central and works with Good Laugh, an organization using comedy for social good. We encourage you to have a conversation in the chat. If you have a specific question, you can post that directly into our Q&A section. That's at the lower left side of the screen. Please note that you can also click on captions to see live auto captioning for the event. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, I will be putting a link in the chat to purchase Quietly Hostile through our museum store. Your purchase will support our museum and our honored guest. Now that is all from me, so please sit back and enjoy, and I'll turn this over to Samantha and Kenice.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Okay. So I'm from the South, and so I say hostile. Does that offend you?
No.
Okay.
No, I say hostile, but I'm from up north, so it doesn't. No, very little offends me. Certainly not that.
All right.
Oh my God, you know what offends me is I have a pile of garbage on the chair.
Behind you? Is that what that is? Are you like angling it towards the window?
Yeah, now I'm moving over to crop
Okay.
it out.
It just,
Yeah, I can't. How can a person who just has bags of garbage sitting around be offended by anything?
I truly, as someone who, this is my work desk, there is trash. There's a trash can, but there are little piles of trash which
Mhm.
need to be sorted. To me, that just says you've got so many ideas, they can't be contained on the surface that you're working on. So some of them have to spill over.
That is incredibly generous, and that is what I will be saying from now on. I'll be like, you know what? This is my work.
Yes.
These are my ideas.
And they're golden. Speaking of which, okay, so you have been a New York Times bestselling author multiple times now. How do your stepchildren respond to that?
They don't give a shit. They don't care. They don't care about anything I do. I don't even know. Well, no, they do know because I posted about it on Instagram and they liked the post, which honestly, I wish they didn't follow me, but that's a story for another.
Right.
But they don't care. They're not impressed. Yeah, trying to get validation from anyone is tough. Trying to get validation from teens, no, it's never gonna happen. I mean, I have to wait till they're like 30.
Okay.
And they can be like, wow, Sam, we've been out in the world and we've tried to work. Working's hard. I can't believe you wrote a book that people bought. So, 10 years, let's check in again about how they feel about
do you
it.
follow them on Instagram?
Yes, because they begged, but
They begged?
oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. They don't care about my career really, but they do care that I'm cool and I have cool friends. You know what they care about? That I have a lot of followers. So I'm like, listen, half of those are bots. Like, get out of here. They're 15 and 17 to Nina, who is asking. And so when they finally were allowed to have it, they're like, Sammy, you're gonna follow us? Sammy, you're gonna follow our Instagram? And I was like, no, I see you at home. And they post, I am at the age, I was saying this earlier, that I'm at the age where I feel a little bit like a ball floating in the ocean because it's like, I sort of know what young people are talking about. For instance, I know that there is a person named Ice Spice.
Yes.
I couldn't tell you what her songs are or how she got famous or any of that stuff. Or like, she makes songs, right? Or is she a model?
Yes.
Okay.
She makes songs. I think I've seen a snippet of a video of hers, but I too also am like, a song title? I couldn't possibly.
Yes. So it's a weird feeling because I don't want to secede from popular culture,
right?
But there's too much to keep track of. And all that to say that the way the youngsters post, very upsetting to me. I can't ever tell what I'm looking at. It's always at 0.5, and like it looks weird and zoomed out. I never know what they're talking about. Their Instagrams are super upsetting to me. So they are both muted.
Oh, okay. I was like, if they were better photographers, would you be more inclined to follow?
You know what? If they made actual jokes, I would pay attention. But they'll post a carousel or a dump or whatever full of 10 pictures that you're like, what is that? Is that puke? Is that a mouse? What is that? And then the caption will be like, Zaza Zuzu, some thing, like joke thing with their friends. And I'm like, I can't look at this ever again.
I guess we have to take comfort in knowing that they'll be embarrassed by it in the same way that we're embarrassed by our past selves?
I hope so. But also, I mean, they don't think anything of it. You know what else they don't do? They don't like curate their photos or like make sure they look good. They just throw them up there and it's like, well, world, look at this. And I don't want to be the old lady in the house, so I don't say shit. But when looking at my phone, I'm like, what is this? I truly don't understand what this means.
You guys need an internal editor. I guess experience gives you that. I don't understand.
Yeah. Or like, can I get a witty caption? I know
Something.
y'all are smart. Like, can I have some words?
Well, I'm sorry that they have pressured you into following them. Okay, so
Okay.
this is, wait,
My cross to bear.
yeah, this is, but like, what would you say is the biggest difference? Because the book has come out. What would you say is the biggest difference between the first time you went through this and this time?
With the books?
Mhm.
Well, the very first time, so my first book, Meaty, was the original edition, came out on this indie press in Chicago. It was just like two dirtbag dudes making books. I didn't have an editor. They were like, give us whatever and we'll publish it. We'll do whatever you want. And so I did. I put together truly whatever I wanted and they put it out. But because they were so small, there was like limited distribution. There was no tour. There's no advance, no royalties, no nothing. Like they would sell it at merch tables at like bars and shows.
Okay.
So that was a whole lot of nothing. Like
Okay.
my friends, we had a release party at oh my God, the Empty Bottle in Chicago, which is kind of like a dirty dive bar that has music. And my friends came and we had that one night and then it was like, okay, I made a book, good night. Like I didn't even really want to do a book. Like they pestered me for 2 years
What?
to get me to do it. Well, I had a full-time job and I don't believe that writing is a practical career goal for a person with nothing, which is what I was. So it's like, I'm not going to work 11 hours a day scooping cat shit at the vet and then go home and like try to write a book. But they kept hounding me until finally I relented. So that was kind of like, you know, it was like big in my little world, but it was nothing.
That sounds like the dream scenario, honestly. Like not like, oh, I've written a book and I have to, please, dear God, someone be interested in it. That people had to like pester you to do this thing.
That I think they thought like that we were all gonna get rich, but then they didn't have distribution for it. So they made whatever you make by selling books out of the trunk of your car.
Interesting.
But so the difference, that was in like 2013. So now 10 years later, it is I don't have to do anything myself. There are publicists who set things up. There are schedulers who tell me where to be and book the plane tickets and do all of that stuff. I have an editor, which is, although I will say one of the, I don't know, I don't want to say one of the benefits, but a very nice thing about my having been successful is that I can write whatever I want now. I don't have to turn in, you know, a plan. I can just be like, well, this is what you get. So my evolution in big publishing has been like, you know, tell us what you're going to do, give us an outline, a detailed 5-page outline, blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, oh, Sam, it's book time, turn some stuff in. And then I'm like, okay. But
nice.
it's much nicer, you know, doing it this way and actually reaching people and and all that, but the indie way was kind of, that's like kind of badass too. Although it netted us $0 or
Right.
netted me $0. I don't know what they made. So, it's nice to have worked at this so long that my experience now is like an indie author where they're just like, we trust you,
Yeah.
give us a diarrhea show. And I'm like, okay, got it. Oh my God. Sorry. The dog is barking.
It's fine. I would not refer to your book as a diarrhea show. I mean, my humble opinion as a reader, it seems like more than a diarrhea show. Just my
Thank
opinion.
Thank you, Kenice. You're a comedian. I am self-effacing to a fault.
Okay.
So thank you
All
for
right.
saying that.
No,
But I do think of them as diarrhea books.
Who
Sam wrote another bathroom book. I'm like, yeah.
says that? You're like, it sounds like, I was like, because it sounds like you're imitating someone, but I'm like, who is this person that's being mean to you?
My inner voice.
Oh, okay. All right.
The loudest voice in the room.
You have a chapter on Sex and the City. I have to ask, I grew up watching Sex and the City. I haven't watched the newest seasons. What other shows do you have that kind of connection to?
Oh man, like a biblical
Yes.
knowledge.
Yes.
First of all, I mean, I didn't think I knew as much about Sex and the City as I do until I wrote this chat. And I was like, oh, I'm not even having to Google what happens, right? I was looking up episode titles so I could, talk shit. And I was like, oh, I don't even have to like click on this. I know every girl's storyline. Let's see, what have I watched so much of? Law and Order SVU.
Okay.
Although
it's like 20 seasons now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say mostly in the Benson and Stabler era.
Yeah.
I don't know how young you are, but CSI.
Which one?
The original with
The
Grissom.
original one.
Yeah,
Okay.
the original CSI.
With
and with
what,
Gary
David Caruso
Jordan.
and the shades and the stuff?
No,
still-
that's CSI Miami.
That's
Vegas.
CSI Miami. Damn it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Although I've watched a fair number of those.
Okay. All right.
What other shows? What's Happening from the 70s?
I have not seen that.
Sanford and Son.
I have seen that.
All those old shows, I feel like, and every 80s sitcom, like Give Me a Break, Night Court. Oh God, what's the Alex Keaton one? Family Ties.
I was like, Alex P. Keaton? Yeah. Okay. Why do I know that before I know Family Ties? I'm like, there's a P in there. Yeah.
Same. Oh yes, Fresh Prince.
Yep.
Every episode, A Different World. Come on now. And my favorite. Okay, not to make this about something else, but oh yes, My So-Called Life. Thank you for reminding me, Nicolette. Yes.
I wish that show had not given the world Jared Leto, though.
Oh, I know. But we got Claire Danes, who is just
best chin in Hollywood. She can do like wiggles with her chin that are so impressive to me.
I mean, give her a crying scene every day of my life.
Yes.
Well, okay, speaking of My So-Called Life, that ties into what I was going to say, which is that I don't know if BET plays music anymore, but every Saturday afternoon, they play back-to-back episodes of New York Undercover.
What?
I
did not know that.
It's incredible. And Rayanne's mom from My So-Called Life is like the police chief. Okay. Oh yes, someone said Real Housewives. I was thinking of scripted shows. No, Real Housewives. I've seen them all. I know them all.
I was like, which one? There's so many.
I think of them as my friends. Let's see. I'm deep in a Jersey phase right now. Oh, yes. 911. Why does everybody know my shows better than I do? I'm deep in a Jersey rewatch. I'm obsessed with them. Atlanta, but only when Nene was on there.
That's yep. Somebody said I left the show when Nene did.
I still watch, but I don't stan. And the number one for me is Potomac. I would take a bullet for Karen Huger.
Why?
And I forgot my number one show. I write a newsletter about Judge Mathis. So I guess he's technically my favorite.
Judge Mathis is your favorite. Now, the other judge, is it because of him specifically? Do you like judge shows or just him specifically?
Him specifically.
Okay.
He's hilarious. The cases he gets are more hilarious than sad.
Okay, good.
And one of my favorite activities in my early 20s living in Chicago was to go to the Judge Mathis show, because they gave out free tickets. They filmed it at NBC Tower. You could get a block of tickets, and my friends and I would go, and you would just watch like 10 cases in a row, and it was amazing. And like, let me just say, Black women 40s, 50s and up would come dressed like it was Easter Sunday. I'm
Makes
talking
sense.
like fuchsia skirt suit.
Hat to match?
And they'd be like, "Hey, Judge." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, Sister Bernice."
Is he married?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But you got to shoot your shot.
True. Yeah. Some people who are married don't stay married. That makes sense. I get
That's right.
that. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right. You got to shoot your shot. Who knows?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I basically love TV, and I've clearly watched every show.
I'm on a real dork bend right now. So I finished the Game of Thrones prequel and the Lord of the Rings prequel. So my TV watching is not relatable to people. People don't like it as much. They don't like it when I bring it up.
I watched Game of Thrones like as it was on. I think purely because I wanted to know what people were talking about. Like, that's why I started. And then, once you get at the end of when that shocking thing happens at the end of the first episode,
yes,
I was like, I'm in.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, of course, I'm obsessed with Succession now. I mean, RIP. I watch a lot of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Someone says, "What about Queen Charlotte?" Is this? I have to click on it to see more. But what do you think about Queen Charlotte?
I haven't gotten into any of the like bodice ripper, Bridget, not Bridget Jones.
I was like, wow, Bridget Jones is
Bridgerton.
not a bodice ripper.
I do love Bridget Jones.
I love that so deeply. It's the first DVD I ever bought.
It's so good. The book
enjoy it.
really like changed something in me.
Okay, I haven't read the book.
Like,
I'll read the book.
Read the book. It like, I don't know. It maybe because I was at like an impressionable age, or I hadn't read much. I don't think I'd read many stories about women struggling with dating or whatever. That wasn't really my thing. I used to read like Star Trek books and a lot of magical realism. And then, so that was maybe my first, this is about a girl trying to go on a date kind of books. And I loved it. I don't even know what question I'm supposed to be answering, but this is fun.
We're just talking about TV. We're just talking about
great.
TV. But I also, because you in the book, you mentioned your appreciation of Dave Matthews Band. I wanted to know if you were talking to someone who was a total noob. Truly, the one song that I can remember is like the one that's like Ants Go Marching. And then, yeah, I love that one. And then the one that's, oh my gosh, why can't I think of the name? It's like
Satellite, Crash Into Me.
Crash Into You. Yes, I went to a suburban high school in the South, and damn it, that got played all the time.
Me too. That's where it started.
Yes.
Well, not in the South, but suburban high schools are where Dave Matthews fans are born.
They may still be
True.
there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what kids are listening to outside of Ice Spice, which we mentioned earlier, but outside of that, it could be Dave Matthews Band still. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the teens in my house are listening to Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
And I was like, how did you even hear about that, young white child? But it's great. Maybe I'll sneak some Dave Matthews into their iPods or whatever they listen to music on. I don't even know.
Do they ride in the car with you? Can you like slip some in then?
They do, but mostly the last time I had them in the car, I was bumping Kim Petras. So it was very inappropriate and they loved it.
Perfect. I know one song by Kim Petras. I feel very out of the loop, but I like it. And it was on TikTok nonstop. So
yeah,
pretty cool.
I mean, that's all that matters. Who cares? As long as it's in part of the zeitgeist, as long as you have a little piece of it, it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know that one section because lots of people threw it in lots of videos.
Yeah.
Ooh, I did want to ask your opinion because it's a band that has some similarities, but it's different enough that some people who like Dave Matthews hate Hootie and the Blowfish, but some people like Hootie and the Blowfish. What is your stance on Hootie and the Blowfish?
I only know that one song that came out in the 90s, that I Only Want to Be With You song.
Yeah.
That's it. I have no opinions about Hootie, although this is my one opinion. I do wish that Darius Rucker would like put out an R&B record because I like his voice and I feel like over some R&B grooves, like if he did a slow jam album,
I'd listen. I'd absolutely listen.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I don't know if I'd listen more than once, but I would listen all the way
I'm not
through.
going to listen to country, but I will listen to him do a soulful song. Yes. If anyone has,
I don't have any bad feelings about them. I just, I want, especially like he's older now, salt and pepper hair. Like, come on, come to the dark side, sing some Barry White covers.
Would listen, absolutely. If anyone knows him or is connected to him at all, I don't know who's on this.
Yeah, let him know. He probably has never thought of this. He probably like hasn't decided what to do with his career. So if you know him, tell him we figured it out for him.
Nice. I'm just give him a call, see what happens. Okay. Ooh. So when listening to the chapter, I like it. I listen to books because it's a lot easier for me, and you read your book, so it's like, I've heard. No,
I appreciate that. I'm sorry you had my voice in your head for so many hours.
I reject this naysaying of your own voice. It's a nice voice.
You know, it's because they play it back for me sometimes during the recordings, and I just am like, oh, how could anybody listen to this? I've only heard snippets.
Well, it's a nice listen.
Okay, good. I will take your word for it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I am probably one of those assholes who's probably asked someone to explain their taste or like justify their taste in some way. And as a recovering judgmental person, what is a way that someone like me could make amends? I think you're talking about someone being like, ew, how could you go to that dry cleaner? What could she have said that would make her less of a jerk?
Thank you for that dry cleaner recommendation. And then here's the thing. Okay, not to get all whatever, but of all the people in the world you could talk shit about me to, why choose me? Like, you got a husband, you got a wife, turn to them and say, God, Sam sent me to the dreariest dry cleaner on earth. Isn't she dumb? Why do I have to know that you don't like something I said? You know, I mean, I'm not going to lose my mind here, but if people got hit more, they wouldn't do shit like.
I do think that people's behavior would change if the threat of physical violence was looming in the way that I think it used to be.
I am always terrified that someone is going to punch me in the face for literal, like for just breathing. So I don't I don't step on anyone's toes, but it is always bracing to me when someone is rude right up in your face. And I'm like, oh, it's clear you did not grow up with a violent dad who would drop kick you for even being this close to him, let alone criticizing him. And so because I can't fight and violence is bad, I instead calmly, rather than like apologizing for my taste, I'll just say, I like it. And people can't argue with a simple I like it. And now if you try to say it's the best dry cleaner in town, or this is the best book I've ever read, or this is the best soap I've ever used, then that opens the door for people to be like, well, this soap, I don't want to have that conversation. I don't want to discuss. I mean, I truly don't want to discuss anything that's not like gossip or about what TV you watched or you giving me a book recommendation or whatever. Literally anything other than like products I don't manufacture, places I didn't build that you are mad that I use. I can't. I got a DM before I figured out how to shut off my DMs to strangers. I got a DM from this woman who I didn't even know people did this, who was like, I see you're following this meme page, and I just thought you'd want to know that they steal memes. And I was like, what about me made you think that I would want to know? I don't give a shit. If you're like, why are you following that child murderer? Like, maybe I would be like, oh, I shouldn't. But like, people trying to police your very banal choices, I don't know when. I mean, and we're fully in this as a culture now where like, someone you don't know, I don't know who you follow, I don't know what your tastes are, but because I'm a public person, you can see and ascribe things to me. It's just like, we got to stop apologizing for shit we didn't do wrong, right?
Yeah.
In general, just like the nature, especially for women, to just reflexively apologize, which I'm guilty of. That's why I'm trying to stop. Like, no one wants to read the piece that's like, gals, stop saying sorry, right? But framing it as like telling people you like what you like and fuck off is that was my approach. But ultimately it's just to get, like, I say I'm sorry all the time about things I don't even think about. And I think like my dad used to say sorry is a sorry word, which, you know,
Okay.
proves to you that he was 50 when I was born.
I was like, yeah, that sounds like some old black guy saying, yeah.
Yes.
I can see
If
my
he was
grandfather
alive
saying
right
that.
now, he would be 93. I mean, he truly would be like a fossil. But it's so funny because we often don't even pause to consider who we are apologizing or excusing ourselves to. You know, it's just someone says something to you, you don't want them to be mad, you don't want to be rude, you don't want to step on toes. So you go, I'm sorry, but I'm advocating for taking a step and being like, who the fuck are you to ask me for an apology? And you don't have to say it like that. You could simply say, oh, I like it, and move on. But the subtext is, don't talk to me about what I'm doing.
Being a New Yorker, I am very much so like, say it. Tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yes. Well, see, I'm from the Midwest, so I'm like politely like, please don't talk shit about me on my actual doorstep. But no, what I really mean is I hope you die after you leave my house. And I get to watch, or, you know, like.
All right. Well, hopefully she never does that again.
To you.
Not to, she can do it to other people, but she doesn't do you.
I'm going to tell everybody who reads the book in Kalamazoo, no matter what, just say I like it, and guarantee she'll hear it.
Okay. All right. Very nice. Oh, I have recently started taking edibles. So I'm like developing my edibles like routine, and you talk about looking at whales. What
man.
else do you recommend for a weed newbie?
Well, okay. First of all, weed makes food taste better.
Mhm.
So whatever you really love to eat, save it until you're stoned,
Okay.
and it'll be like magic dancing across your tongue. I
Wait,
recommend.
what are your weed snacks then?
Now here's where you're gonna find out I am a freak. I love okay, the last time I got super stoned, I ate a bunch of cottage cheese with jam, which is not my usual. I
What's
love
the mouth feel on that? Like, I'm like, how does
yeah, I'm a texture person, and
okay.
I like, I'll eat like rice pudding. We get these little like rice pudding packs. I love to eat those when I'm stoned. Jelly beans, jelly bellies specifically.
Okay.
Cantaloupe jelly bellies, if we're getting really specific.
Wow, that is very specific.
Biscoff cookies.
Love
Although
those.
sometimes I have a savory, like I'm like, oh, I want a salty thing. And sour cream and onion Pringles are really the truth.
Okay.
I know Pringles are like a true novelty food, but they just go down so easy.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Every time I buy them, I'm like, I feel like I'm 19. Like the checkout person is like, you have gray hair. Who are you buying these for? Your son?
They're not gonna let you. It's like reverse carding where they're like, sorry, man, you're too old to get this item.
Put that Go-Gurt back. You're old as hell.
So wait, outside of the whale videos, what other internet rabbit holes have you found like really enjoyable? Just either when you're high or when you're not.
Yeah, I love a meme page. Obviously, I follow all the problematic memes. I love to look at memes while I'm stoned. The other night, this is probably shameful, I fell down a rabbit hole of, I don't even know what to call it, but basically like belly porn, where on Instagram. So it's not like porn. There's no private.
I'm interested in this description. Please tell me, because I've never heard of this in my life.
But well, what I saw, I can't speak for the entire community, but the ones I saw, yeah, and here's how I fell down the rabbit hole, so you don't think I'm a pervert. Some dude commented,
"You're allowed to be a pervert. It's fine."
Okay, this is the kind of person I am. Okay. Some dude commented on like a fat lingerie girl I follow, like, ooh, yummy, sweetie, like just something disgusting.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me look at this dude's page. So I looked, and all of the pictures he posted were of like women in like bras and panties, but with huge bellies. And they would have like, little like things over the picture that were like, I gained 6 pounds today from fried chicken, daddy. And dudes are like going nuts. So then I looked through the people who were commenting and just looked at all their pages, and there is a very active tummy community on Instagram. And like, you would feel disgusting maybe doing that when you're sober, but high, it was a revelation. Revelation.
Wow.
Incredible.
Okay.
Yeah. I see you're uncomfortable. And
no, it's more like
that. But
when you said sex with tummies, I was envisioning something very different. And I'm happy that it went in this direction. Yes.
No, it's just like admiring.
Okay, cool. I was like, say what? Instagram's allowing what now?
Yeah, okay, no, just admiring big bellies. I was,
nice.
I'm not going to yuck anybody's yum. I think that is fascinating. I was like, how do you know you like that? How do you get into this community?
How you got into it? Probably.
No, that's real. Stay tuned for my belly pics coming to an Instagram near you.
It happens to the best of us. I follow 3 accounts just dedicated to people taking earwax out of other people's ears. And you
do?
It started with pimple popping videos, and the progression continues of just like people taking bad things out of people's heads. And I'm like, yes.
Love that. I just followed you on Instagram, so I'm going to look through your follows and find some. Okay. I mean, since we're bearing it all here, I love a dilated pore of whiner.
Oh my gosh, I love those videos.
Those are so good. They're so satisfying when it comes out clean.
Yes.
I also used to watch, but it was like grossing me out, but I loved it. I would get like a little shiver and then be like, oh, close it. People who had like super clogged noses and had to get like things like mucuses yanked out of their nose.
Oh, like in the nostrils, not like just like the skin pores and stuff.
Yeah, in the nostrils. But I also look at whenever I see a video with huge pores with black stuff in it, I'm like, yes, get all of those out. There is something, it's like you breathe a sigh of relief as the skin opens and closes, or it like breathes as they get the thing out and then shrinks. And I'm like, that must feel so good.
Yeah.
I wish I had tapped into this when I was younger, because I totally would have gone to esthetician school and like, I love to pick at a thing. I'm like, how can I cultivate a dilated pore of whiner on my own body and like nurse it? And then one day when it's, really like rock hard, remove it from my own arm. I'm going to figure that out.
I love the idea of people creating like dermatological issues just for the satisfaction of removing said dermatological issue.
Oh, a dream. You better be glad I haven't found out how to do it. I'd be covered in them.
I hope
I'd look like a Dalmatian. Are you kidding me?
I enjoy
Cruella would
so
be
much,
chasing me in her car.
Someone else does. This makes me so happy.
Oh, someone asked, how is Kirsten doing?
Yes.
My wife had a giant tumor removed from her pancreas, and they took 40% of her pancreas and her spleen. But we just got pathology back and it's benign. So praise who you praise. It's benign. We had to spend a week at the University of Michigan. It was like scary stuff, but that is a bummer to talk about. Let's get back to something fun.
I'm glad to hear that it was benign.
Oh yeah, that's not the bummer. I was really hoping she would die, but she made it. Next. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, she's doing good. She's walking around. She just went out to have a drink with her sibling. I mean, she's doing great. Yeah. Thank you for asking about her. She will be thrilled that she stole the show.
There are questions in the Q&A, so I'm going to ask a few of those as we are coming up on the hour. Okay, I'm scrolling through this.
Really? This has been so fun. I love talking to you.
Likewise. Okay. All right. So I truly relate to Wanmerle.
We are never meeting in real life.
Okay, cool. I was like, what?
One of my books.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I just call it the yellow book.
The yellow. Yeah, they are very conveniently color coded. It's right here on my desk. I'm not like an ad, but yes, also get it. It is a lovely color.
No, I appreciate it. You did a really good like Vanna White modeling.
Thank goodness my mom watched Price is Right and not Jeopardy.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yes, Wheel of Fortune. Thank goodness. Mm-hmm. We watched those shows as a family. Okay.
So did we.
It was Like You See Me. Do you have actually it too? Do you actually have it too? I think, is this what this person's asking? They're asking if you actually have Crohn's.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Well, so I've been told, and so I've been treating since 2008. I just on Friday had to have a CAT scan of my upper intestine because I had a colonoscopy and that was fine. So they were like, well, where's the problem? We got to find it in your upper. And there was a contrast thing that I've never done before. You had to drink 3 liters of this solution. Like, I've had a barium series before, but never this. And it was like Friday night. I drank this like lemon lime piss water. Then I go back. The tech was like so funny and great. We're having a great time. And then he took 2 pictures in the CT, came out and injected me with the contrast solution, like in the arm. And I love how that stuff feels. I mean, it just makes your body feel so warm and cozy. And you're like, ooh, ooh, ooh. So he took a picture, and then as soon as the thing told me to breathe again, I started throwing up. I was reaching for this garbage can that was just out of my reach. And they go into the separate rooms so they don't like electrocute their nuts or whatever happens from the lasers. And so I was like, Gary, I'm gonna throw up. He comes running in with the bag, but I'm lying down and in the half in the machine. So I just vomited that lemon lime stuff, a lot of it into the little blue bag cup, but most of it down my sweatshirt. And then I took a picture of myself covered in contrast vomit. So I better have Crohn's. I've been going through a lot of shit, girl. Are you kidding?
That would be some in-depth research that you'd like.
Yeah,
for years,
I better have something. This is outrageous.
Okay, Nicolette asks, she says, I love your glasses.
Thank
Where did
you.
you get them? Bigger round frames are hard to find these days.
Oh, these are from Moscot, Moscot. They are the Lemtosh, and I'm sure they're the biggest size that they offer because I only buy giant glasses because I got a big ass head. So Moscot, they're in New York, but I did it online, and the lenses are perfection. They're so good. They're like so crisp. As a glasses person, that crisp lens, it's an unbeatable feeling. I chase that high all the time. That's why I have so many glasses, because I just am like, I need a fresh pair. I want to see clearly. So yeah, they're from Moscot.
It makes you feel good. Okay, if you
Yeah.
could only watch one, this is from Tikeshlia. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. If you could only watch one, Living Single or Friends?
Living Single. I have only seen one episode of Friends, and it's the one where Joey says, "Could I be wearing any more clothes?" Which is so funny. But I not out of protest or anything, I never got into Friends. And I was in high school at the time, and like my friends were all into Friends, but I was busy watching like Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, and Northern Exposure. Like Friday nights or Thursday night, whatever night it was, I was watching CBS with your grandmother. We were watching Dr. Quinn. We were watching Lorenzo Lamas in Renegade. I like old people stuff. So I missed the Friends boat. And now there's so much to consume that I can't do it.
Those are bloated 23 episode seasons. It's not
Oh,
possible.
yeah, it's network. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think I could get through it.
I did it 5 years ago. I watch 100 new things every year, try like movies or a season of TV shows. And one year I tried to do Friends, and it was just like this huge chunk of the middle of my year was every day, like just trying to force myself to watch more Friends. But there's so much of it.
Yeah. That's,
Oh,
I mean, that's a lot. God bless them for making it, but
it's a lot.
I missed the boat.
Okay. Mallory says, just bought the book, cannot wait. Thank you for doing
Thank
this.
you, Mallory.
What are a few books that you've recently loved?
I I just loved, I'm a Grady Hendrix fiend. Well, not just, but I finished How to Sell a Haunted House. And that shit was scary as hell. I did not, because he kind of does like humor horror. I'm sure if he heard me say that, he'd be like, shut up. That's not what I do. But it was true. I was like, "Ugh." I was definitely scared. I am currently reading Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, and I like it, but it makes you so uncomfortable. It's like cringing on every page. But that's how you know it's good, right? It's like I'm flying through it and also cringing to death. Oh my God. Read that. It's really good. That's good.
Great book recommendations. I truly am buying on Audible Bridget Jones' Diary now.
Oh,
but more
that's
questions.
so great.
Danielle asks, who rules your house? The teens, the cats, or Abe?
Abe. Abe. He has the ability, just by being a little yappy dog, to ruin a situation, to make a situation nice because he's being nice. But oh God, our whole day is scheduled around, well, I have to drop him off at school and then somebody has to pick him up later. And is he in a good mood? Did he have his Prozac today? Like, he is so complicated, and he's not cute or nice enough to justify all of the thinking we have to do about that little stupid ass dog. He's so bad and ugly, but mostly bad. But then he'll do like cute stuff. Like, he loves the sun. Summer is his season. And he loves to lay out. We call him a little sun bum. He loves to lay out in the sun. And sometimes it's nice he has to stay tied up, otherwise he'll run away. But it's nice to look and see him on the tie out, like relaxing in the sun. But that is something that happens once every few days and only when it's warm out. So, and he's a Chihuahua. He's only 3. He's going to live for 20 years. It's too much. But yeah, he bosses. We call him cat police. If the cats are doing something bad, he will bark to get our attention. If they're like on a counter, he'll just sit there and bark until someone gets up. And if they're like walking past him doing something bad, he will jump on them and like try to ride them. It's chaos. It's chaos.
It's nice for you guys to continue to love this creature who is taking up so much space in your home. That's nice.
And in my pocketbook, he's so expensive. Dog stuff is so expensive. Daycare, I mean, truly. But like, it's what I've signed up for by bringing him home. I mean, maybe we thought the pandemic was just going to kill us all, including the dog. And that's why we were like, yeah, okay, let's get him. And now that we're still alive, it's like, oh no, we got to have this dog forever. No, everybody else loves him but me. Okay. So that's fine. They love him. I tolerate him. We tolerate each other.
Okay. Fair. a standoff that will last indefinitely. Nice.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So Erica asked, what has your experience been like coping with self-doubt as it pertains to your writing?
Man, I gotta say, I feel removed enough from the reception or like how my things are going to be received that at this point I don't have a lot of like traditional doubt, right? Like I don't sit at the computer being like, oh, is this okay? Or I don't know if this is good. Like I don't have a formula, but my books, you read one, you read them all. I'm just kidding. Please buy the new one. It's very different. It's a totally different experience. But so doubt is never, I just do what I want. And then I know someone is gonna tighten it up or, dot the I's and cross the T's. But especially during like this book I wrote during COVID, it was like, oh, anything I thought I could write a minimum of 2,000 words on, I just did it. I didn't think about if people would like it or if they would want to read it. My deadline was looming and I was like, I'm obsessed with QVC. Here we go. So I don't even say that in an arrogant way. I just am like, I think because there are so many filters or like levels that your work, like I write it, my agent reads it, my editor reads it. There's like a copy editor, there's a sensitivity reader, there's a lawyer, there's a second copy editor, or there's a fact checker. And it's like, if 6 people read and like make sure this thing is ready for publication and someone doesn't like it, that's on them. I did what I could do. I also think too that a thing to keep in mind, like if you're a writer, is I don't try to exceed my ability, right? Because that's frustrating. I know I can't write a World War II novel, so I don't. People like take on these, like they're project people. I understand. I'm not one. But I think with writing, if it's like, I've never tackled this before, that's a situation in which like you're going to question yourself the entire time. And life is too hard. I'm not doing that. I'm going to keep doing my same old shit. So I would say if you stay where you're best acquainted, doubt should dissipate, and shout it down. If it comes in there, just until you get other eyes on it and they're like, this is terrible. Eyes you trusted eyes. I don't worry about it. Just do your writing. That's what I do. I mean, you can't put out 4 poop books if you doubt yourself.
It seems like we're at the hour. Omar, do we have time for another question, or
let's do one more.
Let's do one more. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Have you taught anywhere? Asked Anne Sheffield.
No. And I only went to high school. I don't know how to teach. And I think any wisdom I'd have to impart is pretty much summed up in like, do what you want and have a day job. Like, because it takes the pressure off your writing. Like truly, if you are writing for money, you're never going to get to write what you want. So I would say have a job and write whatever you want and trust yourself. But no, people have asked me to teach and I'm like, teach what? How to put the toilet paper on your hand when you have a messy shit, like how I fold it before I go in for the kill. Yeah, no, I haven't. We would have one class that would be really fun, and I'd be like tap dancing and trying to make you laugh. And then class 2, you would be like, this bitch doesn't know shit. And you would be correct. I
Just
don't
how to
know
successfully
anything.
write 4 books. I don't know. That seems like something.
Yeah, but they're about me. My books they're not about history or science, art, math. They're about the one thing I'm an expert in. So I suppose if someone wanted to learn how to be me, which they don't, I could teach that for free. Like, you'd ask for your money back for sure.
Hey, Omar.
Hi, Omar. Omar's here to tell us to get the fuck off his screen.
No, this is amazing. And poop stories and jokes are my kind of comedy. So
Oh, thank God.
I try to
Sometimes
maintain.
people find my work who are like expecting something else, and I'm like, oh no, this is it.
I try to maintain a facade of formality just to get people.
Yeah, you do seem very professional, but I'm glad you're into scatological humor.
Mallory can vouch. I actually told Mallory, who's our assistant curator, that Samantha would be very welcomed at staff lunches where there are all sorts of jokes and stories being told.
Even because I was like, Mark Twain, do they know what I do? That sounds fancier than, I mean, is it a sex dungeon, Mark Twain sex dungeon that wants me to talk? So
Mallory knows
Mark Twain. The staff is disgusting.
Yeah, Mallory knows Mark Twain better than I do, but she said that he loved fart jokes.
Oh, thank you, Mallory. That's all I need to know. That will be the one thing I know about Mark Twain until I die. I hate learning.
Well, thank you so much, Samantha. This has been awesome, and thank you, Kenice, for moderating.
Thank you for doing this. This was so great. I hope it is not the last time we talk.
Likewise.
Okay, good.
Yes, awesome.
Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Please join us at the museum if you're in the area. We're open every day. And we have a brand new exhibit called For Business or Pleasure, Twain Summer Sojourns, which focuses on the Clemens family's American summer vacations between 1870 and 1810. And check out our website for more author events. We'll have one on Thursday with Aisha Harris, and we'll have a lot more this summer. So come back and join us. Have a great night, everyone.
You too. Bye, guys. Love you.
Bye.